Hi cozy friends! I want to spend this vlog figuring out how we can balance productivity and rest. I think my entire life I've been very focused on productivity and just like productivity, min-maxing, like how much work can I accomplish and how successful can I be. And while that's important, and while I feel like I have gotten to a point in my life where I am no longer chasing success because I feel like I have found success within myself and in my career, corny stuff, I still find that I have remnants of that overachiever, people pleaser, perfectionist, success chaser. Success chaser. There's remnants of me in there. And it comes out the most when I find that I am resting the most. For example, this past week I was sick. You hear the tone I just said that with, right? I was sick. Like, oh my god, like what a inconvenience. And that's truly what it feels like. Like I'm being forced to rest, but in a way that I did not decide. Like it's out of my control. And I know that's a control thing that I need to work on, but being forced to rest because I'm sick is like my nightmare. However, last week I was like, I'm just going to give it up. I'm just going to give up the control. I'm just going to rest. I'm just going to rest. And I'm not going to try and push myself at all. I'm going to cancel things. I'm going to push things off. And I'm just purely resting. And so I had like an entire week, not an entire week, but I had most of a week of full rest, which I haven't had in a long time. And it was so healing. It was so healing. And I know I'm constantly telling y'all to rest, but I don't always internalize that myself, or I don't always spend those like large chunks of time that really make the difference. And so I've just been realizing and reflecting on how important to end like true long periods of time rest is for us in our happiness and our sustainability and our ability to then show up in everyday life. While reflecting on that, I've also been reflecting on, now that I'm jumping back into a week where I kind of had to catch up from my week of being sick and resting. Now I'm like, okay, so now I feel thrust back into this productivity zone. How can I balance the two? I want to find a good balance. I just want to not be on either extreme. I don't want it to be so extreme, either full rest or full on. I don't want to just be like rot or hamster wheel. I want to find a good balance. And I've been working on it like a couple of days this weekend, but throughout this week, I really want to find the little ways that we can mesh both. It's not going to be like a crazy science-backed official experiment. I'm taking y'all along with me per usual, but I just want to be mindful of those moments when I can rest, when I can be productive, and how I can marry those two things. And just like little tips and tricks I'm figuring out as I go. So today, day one of this balancing act. It is 3:30 and I just had a full day. It wasn't a full day. I just had like half of a day of work and catching up on things. I would like to cut it off. Luckily, I'm self-employed. I can choose my hours. I worked a lot this weekend, so I'm like, I'm cutting today off. I could sit here and I could find projects to continue to work on. I could like create work for myself. I could catch up on things that are weeks and weeks ahead. I could do that, but why? Let's rest. Let's do it. So number one, I think we're cutting off when we can. We're taking advantage of those moments when we actually can rest. The universe is providing us a moment. Don't slap the hand away. Don't say like, no, it's fine, I'm gonna keep working. No, we're taking that hand. I'm taking the hand, I'm saying thank you. Giving a little smoochie, and we're gonna go rest. Something I've been loving to do for the past 4 days, I've been like yearning for outside air, I guess, is just sitting on my patio. Ever since we got new patio furniture, I've just been sitting out there. I sat out there for like 12 hours one day. I just sat out there and did all my work. I'm cutting off the work though, and I'm just bringing my iPad, I'm bringing my Switch, I'm bringing my computer, I'm bringing maybe like a book, and we're gonna go hang out there and just work. I worked out yesterday, so I think I'm going to say no to workouts today too, and just kind of chill for the rest of the day. I think that's a good plan. I think we're being kind to ourselves, and we're being patient and generous to ourselves, because we deserve it. Okay? When you have the time, snatch it up. Let's go relax. And I'm gonna get myself a little treat also. I deserve a little treat. So do you. You deserve a little treat. Get yourself a little treat. Come on. It's treat time. Got my laptop, got my Switch, and got my book that I'm currently reading. And my phone's in my pocket. Let's go. I took off my shirt, my other shirt, because I had to wear a bra with it, and this one I don't. So the girls are out. And I got my greens Got my greens, got my Mina, and I'm gonna plop my butt on that cushion and not leave till it's dark, okay? Hello. Amazing. This microphone allows me to talk to y'all from such a far distance. I have been hyperfixating on two things. The first is a house, or just like looking at a bunch of houses on Zillow, and the next is crafting the perfect garden in that house or apartment or rental home, whatever it is. But I really want a garden so bad. I've been truly hyperfixating on the garden. I have this Pinterest board. I'm going to share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see my screen? This is my backyard and garden board. I want this more than I want air in my lungs. I want this more than I want anything I've ever wanted in my life. I want this so bad. I think what sparked this is spending more time outside in the summer. The sun came out and I didn't know how to act. I just was like, this is what life's all about. Plants, trees, greenery. I am but a human. I'm a lizard. My lizard brain is like, yeah, sun blue. But how gorgeous are these? I just want a space where I can create a little garden and have a cute little outdoor seating area and just lay out. Maybe a pool. Hey, if the universe, throws a pool in my lap, I'm not gonna reject it. A sunroom. Are you kidding me? A sunroom for reading without bugs? Speaking of bugs, hold on. Thank you. I just want a garden really bad. So this whole hyperfixation of late of housing and gardens started because of me being outside. And then came the gardens, then came the home. Because I was like, I can't create a garden without a home. One more point I want to bring up in this conversation is yearning. I want to talk about yearning. I want to discuss where yearning comes from and what it can tell us about our mental state and our fulfillment in life. Right now, I'm yearning so much for a garden and a home, right? Like I'm truly hyperfixating. I'm spending hours a day, like in the evenings, just scouring Zillow, really thinking about like places to live. I've noticed that these hyperfixations come when I have moments of rest. Like this all started in this past week. I talked about when I was forced to rest. I was forced to put work aside and I was forced to just like be. The first thing my brain did is create a new project. It's so ridiculous. I mean, I don't say that. I don't say ridiculous in a negative way. I don't say it in a way to criticize myself. I think it's just human nature for us to seek. But I do think that there is something that it can tell you about like looking inward and finding happiness inward instead, or finding happiness in your activities that make you live more in the present, because this makes me, it like kind of makes me live in the present a little bit. It's just like a project where I'm like looking at things and getting excited about things and imagining a future life, but at the same time I'm really not present. I'm thinking about everything that I can do in the future. I'm thinking about future. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I work towards this, I'll be happy. If I find this home, if I make this garden, everything's future oriented. It exists under the notion of like, my life will be complete when I have this. And that's really how my brain looks at it, is like, yes, I'm happy now, but I'll be happier when I have these things. I'm grateful. I'm happy now. However, this would make me like, totally, this is it. That's end game. Then I'll be really happy. And I think maybe that's true. Who knows? Maybe I will be a little bit happier. But I do think that we can get stuck in this loop of constantly striving for something else because we think that that's what's gonna finally make us feel content and happy and at peace, and not yearn for other things. There are two things I've taken away from this. One, it's very important to live in the present, as corny as that is, but like when we focus instead on the gratitude we have for the life we're currently living, if possible. Some people, there's not a lot to be grateful for. That's fine. If you are grateful, focusing on what you are grateful for and the life you do lead, and focusing on the things and the activities in your life that can keep you present and in a present mindful mental state. Gaming, reading, crafts, hanging out with friends, spending time with people you love, journaling. Things that keep you in the present, keep you tethered to the idea that your happiness is found in the present instead of some nebulous future ideal that you attach your happiness to. Because when you do that, you are postponing your happiness, you're postponing your joy, and you're saying, yeah, sure, I might be happy, but I'll be happier then, instead of just saying, I am at my happiest right now, which might not be true. This is only if that is true. I'm at my happiest right now, and if I'm not, how can I get there right now? Let's just enjoy that. So that's the one takeaway I've taken from the yearning. The second is, I think we will always yearn. I think as humans, we are always going to yearn. We are yearners at our core. I think that that's okay. And I think as long as we are mindful about it, like this exercise I've just done in being self-aware about the yearning and the why of the yearning, and then coming back and practicing that present mindfulness and gratitude for current happiness, as long as we do those steps, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to yearn. I think it's good to yearn. I think cutting off your yearning can hold you back in life, because I think all of the times I have yearned for something else and I've followed that, it led me somewhere beautiful. I yearned for companionship. I found my partner. I yearned for change of pace, sunshine. I found the place that I love living right now. I yearned for bigger apartment to be able to decorate. I found that. I yearned for a better, more fulfilling job. I found that. Yearning is good. Yearning is a good thing. I think when you look around and you realize you've found all the things you've been looking for, and then you start yearning some more for things that might seem unnecessary, that's when it's time for reflection. Once it becomes unnecessary or superfluous, I think then a little reflection is in order. And I think even then, it's still fine to yearn. Because if you decide, yes, it's superfluous, but yes, I think it's harmless and I can yearn for it and I can work towards it, there's nothing negative in that. Those are just some reflections on yearning and gardens and houses and rest and what comes with an idle mind. An idle mind brings yearning, truly. But also, rest is important, and true rest is important, and sometimes true rest will bring you the things that you haven't thought about. I haven't been thinking about gardens. Maybe I needed to be thinking about gardens, and rest is what led me there. That's all I have to say. I'm going to officially rest. I'm turning my mic off. I am succumbing to the hyperfixation and the yearning, and I shall see you later. Okay, y'all, a quick break to talk about yet another thing that helps me balance my productivity and my rest, and that's our cozy sponsor, Factor. I rave about Factor all the time on here because it genuinely helps save me so much time and honestly my sanity. Factor is a meal delivery service, and meal delivery just makes my life so much easier. I love it. So I can focus more on productivity and rest and less on time in the kitchen and grocery shopping. It's just stuff I don't really like. All of the meals are delivered fresh and never frozen, so you just pop them in the microwave for 2 minutes and then they're good to go. There's also a bunch of options to choose from each week. They even have some snacks and drink options you can add on. I've been loving the watermelon lime refresher. It's really, really good for summer. So no meal planning each week, no excessive grocery shopping, no taking time out of your rest or your productivity to plan a meal and to make it and cook it and do the dishes. Just a yummy, fresh, easy meal. I used to have to think about it all the time so that I could plan it and make sure I get my meals in. I just don't have to think about it anymore. It's such a relief. So if y'all want to try Factor, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code CozyK50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code CozyK50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box and then 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you, Factor! Fantastic, give me 14 of them. Ryan and I decided we're gonna have a little outside time and also start House of Dragons since there's a new season, and we haven't watched the first one for some reason, even though we watched all of Game of Thrones together, but we're gonna watch that tonight. But while he's in the shower, I think I want to make some blueberry muffin mix. I've had this sitting in the kitchen for so long, and I think it's time to finally make it. It's just a little treat time. But here's the thing, it gives muffin instructions and it gives bread instructions, and I could do the bread, but I kind of want to do the bundt cake pan, like muffin bundt cake. I just think that would be so cute. so fun, so cute. But I don't know if that requires different, you know, baking's such a science. I don't know if that requires a different thing. So muffin instructions have a specific combination and bread instructions have a specific combination. But I don't want bread in there and I don't want muffins in there. I'm gonna look it up. Betty Crocker muffin mix into bundt cake. Someone say yeah. I say let's just try it. Let's just wing it. Let's use the muffin instructions since we want it to be cakier. I just know someone's gonna be screaming at me like, Kennedy, just do this. Use one less egg. Use less oil. Sorry, I don't know. This has been phenomenal, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna grease it a little.
Like a blueberry cake.
Yep, pan is greased. What?
I got it.
What?
Pan is greased.
Greased. Whoa, what is this? Oh, the blueberries are in a can. Babe, do we have a can opener?
Yeah.
Oh.
This looks like a wartime.
I know. Rations.
Yeah.
400. I think I'm gonna bring it down. Just scared it's gonna be too hot. Oh yeah, because they're smaller. Okay, wait, I'm gonna bring it down to 75. Maybe 40 minutes. 2 eggs. Okay, stir, muffin mix, water, oil, eggs. Y'all pay very close attention to which ingredients are included in this, and most notably, which are missing. Okay. Yeah, that's all. Can I turn on this light? Yeah. Oh, the vibes. Babe, the vibes over here. Excellent. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Scoop. No. I don't know what you're supposed to mix baking stuff with. Sure, it's not this, but I'm going for it. All right. Okay. So just mixing in the blueberries and then putting it in once it's preheated. Ryan prepared the rations. Got them right here. Don't even worry about it. Bloobs. I want these like for yogurt. Just canned blueberries, canned fruits. Why don't they have canned fruits like that?
You want all your fruit to be rations?
Yeah, I want to barter all of my canned fruits for something. All right, in the pan, my greased pan. Oh, all right, it's spread evenly in the pan, I think. I just feel like it's not gonna rise that much. We'll see. I can use the new timer I got. Look how cute, isn't it cute? It's from Michael's. Okay, 35 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna do 40 because it was 35. Wait, was it? 35 to 45, yeah. Yay! Different measurements of water and
What? Did you not put water? Oh man. Wait, how are you mixing it? How are you mixing it?
Is it too late? Oh God. Right now it's just
Oil, egg.
oil, mix, and egg.
Okay, they're gonna be a little more dense.
Disgraceful. The thing is done. Oh my God. Oh, this is why everybody else in the house bake and cook and not I. This is crazy. This is wild. Well, I don't need to poke that with anything. That's clearly done. All right, let's cut into it. I don't normally fumble this hard. This is a pretty bad fumble. Put in these little bowls. Apart from it's definitely cooked too long, but it doesn't look inedible. Like the lack of water didn't make it completely inedible. Oh, Okay, it's actually not bad. It actually probably should have just been in for 5 to 10 minutes less without the water. Because the outside is like pretty burnt. But the inside's fine. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take it. Sheila, you love it up here. You love it up here. We're done with outdoor time. We had some good time. Huh, Sheila? Well, you didn't. You had a good sleep up here while you were watching us. A little creepy, but it's okay. Yeah, a little creepy. I love you, doll. I love you. I love you too. All right, the rest of today is going to be watching House of Dragon. I'm excited. I feel like I just saw a TikTok today that was like, there's nothing like having a show. Like having a show when you go out in the day and you have to do all your things and you have to work and you have to take care of responsibilities. Nothing makes life better than knowing you have a show to come home to. Like you're like, I just can't wait to get home and watch my show. I feel like I don't have a show. We watched all of Bridgerton. I did not really like it this season. So I never felt like I had a show during that. I just didn't feel like I had a show. I haven't felt like I had a show since like Fallout, and I'm tired. I would like to feel like I have a show. I'd like to be excited to watch a show at the end of the day. I would like to start like an older series, I think. I don't know. Y'all recommend older series if you can. Hi, Zula. Something like The Vampire Diaries or like older series like that. Not Friends. I can't do Friends. I feel like I missed the boat on that one. I missed the nostalgia boat on that one. Same with like Sex and the City. I feel like in 2024 it doesn't land as well, especially for me. So those two won't do, but recommend any other older show, and I want to get in on it. But I'm excited for House of Dragons, and I feel like this might fill that for right now until we finish, till we catch up. Okay, we're gonna watch. Hello. Good morning. New day, new focus. Yesterday, we tackled the rest part of things. Tackled as if it was a difficult thing to do. Yesterday, we focused on rest, and today we're going to focus on productivity and rest and kind of blending the two. But I do have a decent amount of things to get done today, so it's the perfect way and the perfect day to figure out a good balance, basically. Something I did want to highlight, and something that's framing my mindset around balancing rest and productivity, and also just being productive in a way that isn't just pushing yourself to your furthest limit, is this quote that I saw on TikTok. And there's no doubt in my mind that this quote is going to come up again in the future, because it just left such a lasting impact on me and how I view doing tasks and stuff and work since I first saw it. So the quote is, "Don't do any task in order to get over with it. Resolve to do each job in a relaxed way with all of your intention. Enjoy and be one with your work." I think that is so insightful and such a good way to reframe things. I just feel like self-work is all about reframing. I mean, that's what you're doing in therapy, is just reframing things. It's constantly just reframe that, reframe this. You have this perspective on it. What if it was this perspective instead? And I feel like this is such a good way to reframe work and just productivity in general. Like, even, I think this is a little bit harder to apply to work that you don't enjoy and work that you are forced to do, whether that's like service work if you don't enjoy service work, or a corporate job if you don't like your corporate job. Some people do. I think it's a little bit harder. Like, yes, you can resolve to approach it with a calmness and just get it done and, you know, whatever, but you can't just enjoy the work that you're doing if you at its core don't enjoy it. So my caveat to that, but I do think it's really good for like everything else in life. Anything that we have to do to upkeep our home, upkeep our admin in life, tasks, errands, taking care of people in our life, taking care of ourselves even, because that can be hard sometimes. I think it's such a good perspective and such a good reframing. I'll give you an example. I have to do a bunch of chores around the house that I've kind of been putting off. I have to take out some of the trash. I have to like break down some of the boxes, take out the trash. I have to switch out all of the litter around the house. I have to sweep the floors and mop them. And I want to do a little spot clean of the bathroom. Those are all the things I would like to do this morning before I actually jump into work, just because I have the energy and the time, which is another thing. Save those things for when you have the energy and time. Don't force yourself if you don't want to. Just when you have the energy, that's when I pick up the things that have been on the back burner, and that's fine. That works for me. I have to do all of those things. And normally what I would do is like jump in between the things that I have to do for the day and then jump back to the chores, and then like breakfast and then jump back to the chores, and then like I'm distracted and I'm doing this thing and then jump back to the chores. And then I'm also like putting on YouTube and like listening to a podcast and like scrolling on my phone, and I'm just trying to like fill the brain and fill everything so that I'm not actually conscious of the fact that I'm doing housework. And if that works for you, that's fine, and that has worked for me. But I think it would be so much more of an efficient process, and I would just get through the chores so much quicker if I just approached it with a sole focus. Maybe just play some music, be one with my mind while I'm doing that task. I'd get it done so much quicker, so much more efficiently, and I'd be able to address it, move on, address it, move on, address it, move on, with each task. And that's just so much more efficient than what I normally do. I just think it's a really good way to approach any kind of task you have to do, and not looking at it as like, I'm just getting this over with. I'm just getting this over with. Think about how you can be mindful while you're doing that task. Think about any skill you can improve while you're doing that task. Think about the mechanics of the task itself so that you have that moment of mindfulness. Think about doing that task to its fullest potential, or to your fullest potential. Think about what you can learn from it. Think about how you can make it more efficient in the future. Like when you are present in each task, and this is not just housework, this is any work that you're doing, you really just touch base with yourself and that task so much more than when your mind is in 50 other places. And I also love the part about doing it in a relaxed way with all of your attention, because I think there's a lot of like deep work. I've read that book, like Deep Work, and where it's like you have to be so focused and you gotta be locked in, and that's what I imagine. I just imagine like rap air horns in the background and you just have to like reach for some, nebulous, all-powerful focus power that supposedly we all have in our minds and bodies, and just channel it into this one task. That's just not how, I can't do that on command. That's not how I work. Sometimes I'll get that out of nowhere and then I'll like hyper focus on something, and that's fine, that's great. But I don't think that's realistic to just try and channel that or expect to channel that in every single task that you do. So I love the idea of approach it in a relaxed way. Just approach it in a relaxed way. Maybe you don't want to do it, that's okay. Just approach it in a relaxed way. There's no pressure, take the pressure off. I don't have to do this perfectly. I don't have to do this in any certain amount of time. Just chilling, man, just chilling. I gotta clean the toilet. Okay, let me listen to some music. Let me just real quickly, boop, 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 and it's done. I gotta create this PowerPoint presentation. All right, we'll have a little chill time with it. We'll just start it. Let's just start it. Start it, because often starting it is what starts that like hyperfixation. Okay, now I'm doing it, I'm focused, and I'm getting it done. But starting it sometimes is the hardest. But if we are approaching it with a relaxed mindset, then it's a lot easier to start. Anyways, I just thought that was a really good quote. That's how I'm gonna approach all my tasks today. I'm gonna try and have a singular mindset and only create ambiance with some music. I have a playlist that's called, I think it's like songs I'd listen to if I were a plant. Yeah. I don't know, it just made sense to me. If you get it, you get it. I called it songs I'd want to listen to if I were a plant. Okay, here's the cover. I feel like that makes sense. And the songs are just like so chill. Like they're so chill. It's vibey. It's not anything crazy. It's just flowy. You're flowing. You're in a flow state. So I'm going to just put on some sunscreen and start with those tasks. I'm gonna make a list, so I'm intentional about where I'm starting. Let's do litter first. Let's do trash next. I'm thinking of like the dirtiest things. Let's then do floors, and then quick bathroom clean. And also I'm gonna do a quick counter clean of the kitchen. Ryan just did all the dishes, which is amazing because I hate doing the dishes. Okay, let's go. Let's start with the litter. Okay, let's go. All right, y'all. I just finished all the cleaning. I think we started at like 8:30 and it's now 11:30. It did take a little bit longer than I thought it would, but here's my thoughts on like the focusing element. It was so nice. It was very nice, and it actually made me get it done quicker, I think, than I would have normally, because I felt myself like reaching for my phone and then I'd stop, or I felt myself like wanting to go do another thing, but I just had my list in my head and stopped, and I was like, no, finish this. Like when I was doing the litter, and I was like, okay, I haven't finished this one, but I'm gonna go start on the other litter. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. So I was like, no, finish this one first and then go to the next litter box. It very much kept me present, kept me mindful, and also it allowed my mind to kind of wander to places that were helpful for me, like kind of taking inventory of the tasks I had to do today and how I was gonna execute them. And usually I would kind of sit at the desk and freak out and be like, I don't know, and then like just start doing it and not really have a plan for things. And this allowed me to get some tasks done while also being able to think through the rest of the things I had to get done for the day. So it was just very nice. It was very nice being present, and then listening to music instead of a podcast like I normally do was really nice, because it makes your mind actually stay present and makes you actually think and let your thoughts wander, versus podcast is just your thoughts are on the podcast, you're just consuming. It feels like you're getting the task done in the background, versus this was like I'm doing the task and then my mind is wandering in the background. Very nice. Highly recommend. I did just hyper focus and did not eat breakfast, so I'm gonna have like a late brunch. This is the next important thing. It's really trying to separate, which I talk about all the time, and I talk about that it's a goal of mine that I'm trying to do lately, is really separating my downtime from my work time. So right now, usually I would have breakfast. I would have breakfast at my desk while I'm starting to do work, but instead I'm going to make my breakfast. I'm going to sit on the patio and have my matcha out on the patio, eat out on the patio, and then I'm going to come back and start work for the rest of the day. And then we'll just be productive for the rest of the day. Okay, let's get some breakfast. So clean in here. Wow. So now while I'm outside, this will be designated relaxing, catching up on my media that I want to consume and having that little check-in with myself before I get to work. Okay, y'all, the breakfast is breakfast. See, that would have been my last straw if I didn't have a nice little time outside, centering and finding my peace. I had breakfast. It was lovely. Had a little me time, watched some YouTube videos. I wasn't really paying too much attention, but now it's time to plan my day. This is my personal planner for my collection. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'll have a little link for it. But I'm going to plan in my planner. I'm going to catch up on my habit tracker and plan on AccuFlow too. I also started using AccuFlow, which we talked about in the decluttering video a couple weeks ago. I love it. I still love it. It's amazing. So I'm going to do that before stream at 3. I have 2 hours before I have to start getting ready for stream. So I think that's enough to plan my day, plan the rest of the day that I have. I'm going to start working and you're going to hang out with me while I do it. All right, y'all, I'm gonna do some filming for the rest of the day and then go straight into stream and then doing some more filming after that. So I'm gonna end the vlog here, but thank you so much for coming along with me and trying to figure out, I don't know, we're all figuring it out together. It's not like I figured it out this video. I think it's a lifelong practice of trying to balance rest and productivity, whether that's work productivity or home productivity, and whether that's like full rest or mindful rest. It's a lifelong journey, a lifelong practice. Just be patient with yourself, I think. I've trying to learn to be patient with myself. Be patient with yourself. You're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to relax. True. Sometimes that is the most productive thing, is getting your rest in so that you can show up in other areas of your life a little stronger, a little better, a little more well-rested, a little more grateful, and a little more mindful. Sometimes you just need that rest, not even to do those things. You just need that rest. Rest, rest, rest. We talk about it all the time. Thank you, thank you. I love you so much. Stay cozy. Bye. This is a little add-on because this is very impromptu, but an added point to rely on the people in your life who can help you relax and rest for a little bit when even you might not know how or might not think you need it. Because after I said bye, okay, I'm gonna go be productive, I was productive, but I had kind of a stressful day and I was like talking to Ryan about it, and after I got out of stream, he was like, I drew a bath for you. So he just like made me a little bath because I was having like a stressful day, and I just had the nicest, most relaxing bath ever, and I feel so rested even after a productive day. So either being that person for yourself or asking or relying on people around you for help in your rest practices is the best and really helpful. Okay, bye. Actually, bye now. Bye.